What's going on? I'm Stik Figa. I'm here with my man Bonny.
Bonny Show.
And we are in Topeka, my hometown.
We had to take it to the spot.
To the spot, to the top, where it all began. And I wanted to start here at the Brown versus Board of Education because I feel like people don't know a lot about Topeka at all.
Yeah.
And I know something I run into every time I go out of town is like, you know, ain't no black people in Topeka.
No, we might have to be a little louder because I didn't bring the Magic Miles Bonny mic today.
Right. Oh no, it's fine.
You were saying that some people think there's no black people in Topeka.
There's no black people in Topeka, and little do they know, Brown versus Board of Education is one of the first anti-segregation cases to take place. Not one of the first, but definitely the one that got the ball rolling, and with school integration and things like this. And this is the school, the actual school that's been turned into a museum in order to educate people, not just about this case, but just about, you know, racism and the story of the civil rights movement in general. And a lot of that started right here in Topeka. And there's a lot of, you know, black history in Topeka that I want to show you guys, and how I grew up in this town and how it affects my music. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
So that's what I want to do, and hopefully we can get into that.
All right.
All right. Cool.
And here we are. Thank you, Stik.
No problem.
Let's begin the journey.
Yes, sir. Let's
Stik
do
Figa's tour of Topeka.
It's Stik Figa, right? You know I had to do it. All right, here we go.
Well, we're just gonna keep this rolling, you know.
Yeah,
we keep it real. So we're gonna get a little zoom on right there, little blot owl, you know, little shot. And now I'll just hand this to you, man. You know what I'm saying?
Cool.
As long as it keeps saying record and you can see through it, that means it's good.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and make sure I can see.
How's that doing? That's pretty much.
Oh, okay. I know what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah.
Now there we go.
You know, and I like to minimally edit. I like to minimally edit the Miles Bonny Show. So keep it.
All right, we're gonna keep it going.
Yeah.
Right now we are in what people refer to as East Topeka. I grew up in Central Topeka, which is, I mean, it's a small town, 120,000 people.
You gotta keep telling me where to go.
So you're gonna bust it right here.
All right.
And I mean, I guess I could show you guys some of the housing, what Topeka looks like, the type of town that it is.
And I wanted to mention real quick, because there's the Miles Bonny Show, and I need to talk about myself as much as possible. That my dad grew up around here as well, and he always told me about some house that looks like these, and I don't know which one it was, that he would go to and like rehearse with some funk band when he was a teenager.
Really?
So, and I know Reggie B, his dad and all that, grew up around here as well, as did Reggie B. All right, so where do I go? Straight?
Bust it right here. All right. I'm gonna take people to the old neighborhood, Tennessee Town, and Elmhurst, where I grew up. And what people don't know about Tennessee Town is Benjamin Pap Singleton was part of the Exoduster movement, which was the first group of slaves from Tennessee, hence the name Tennessee Town, that headed west, and they settled here in Topeka. Some people don't know.
I didn't know that.
Mr. Fun Fact. That's what I did. It's not a frills place. There's not a lot going on. I mean, I'm not going to exaggerate the situation. It's definitely the type of town. It's largely a middle class town with some lower end. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but it's definitely lower end, lower middle class. But it's not some like super.
In terms of finances,
right? Not
in terms of spirit.
Exactly. Because what you lack in finances, you always make up for it. Spirit.
Yeah, necessary.
You know what I mean? Lots of stuff for sale, lots of housing. You know, and this is Central Topeka. We're coming up on Clay Block right now. You know, it's just one of these types of. This is a town in the Midwest with not a lot of industry.
There you go.
You know?
Well, have there been historically some major businesses that had been booming here at one point that people were employed by that aren't anymore, or anything like that?
The biggest thing here, we're coming up on Washburn University now. Washburn University is the private college here in Topeka. That is the draw for most people from out of town.
No
the draw.
On the left over here.
Yeah, we're just gonna keep going this way until we get to Hunts. Yeah, businesses, factory type town. You know, you could work at Jostens, Goodyear. You know, labor, laborious
And are those businesses still active here?
Those are still active. You know what I'm saying? We got the hospital, things like that. The state government. This is the capital city, so.
Capital of Kansas.
The capital of Kansas is not Kansas City. It's Topeka.
And the majority of Kansas City is actually in Missouri.
Correct.
So people know
so quit.
that.
Yeah, people in both. You can bust one right here on.
Shouts to Scratch Magazine, who said I'm from Kansas City, KA. They even got wrong state and wrong abbreviation.
Right.
That's fine. I don't care. I'm just saying it happens.
But isn't it awesome that people from the coast are so intelligent? They feel. Right. And they're so well versed in everything.
Right, and they don't even need to visit.
They don't need to visit because they already know.
Right, they already know.
That the abbreviation for Kansas is KA.
Well, you know, I mean, all those other states that have the KS abbreviation might have been getting in the way.
Right.
So they figured, hey, it must be the KA. All right. So these houses look a bit more upper class.
Right. Now we're still in Central Topeka, and you're seeing a different type of Topeka.
Do you think these are professors or something?
These are definitely people who are well educated, probably teaching. You know what I'm saying? Doctors. There's a lot of people who live in Central Topeka. Central Topeka is, funny enough, gets a bad rap because of what you saw, but a lot of Central Topeka is really not so bad and really pretty, actually. Yeah. You're looking at trees. This isn't New York or nothing. I mean, we got yards. You know what I mean? We got trees.
Yeah, Kansas is not all farms.
It's not farms. That's what I'm saying. You're seeing concrete. That's just.
As much as people in Kansas make fun of other random Midwest cities as if Kansas states.
Point.
People around here will use like Iowa as an example.
Yeah, well,
we're no better.
Iowa smells though. No, I'm just playing. If you're from Iowa, I'm just joking. That was a joke. Yeah, I know they have lots of actual farm, but I didn't grow up on a farm. This is what I'm trying to get across.
They're so country compared to Kansas. No, but it's true. Yeah, there's cities. You know, this looks like a St. Louis or something to my eye.
You know.
Boom.
Hello, this is Stik Figa. Welcome to Central Topeka, Kansas, Tennessee town, Elmhurst that way. That's where I grew up. You know what I'm saying? This is kind of like 12th Street is the divide between. Not 12th Street, excuse me. Washburn. It's kind of the divide between where I was at and where it's happening at, for the most part.
Happening.
Not
happening.
Not so much happening. But this is Aaron Douglas's. I cannot remember the name of it. We'll have to go look over there and find out. But Aaron Douglas went to Topeka High, Harlem Renaissance artist that a lot of people would know of. I'm sure he moved at some point. But this is right here in the heart of what is Tennessee town, which I explained earlier was, you know, where a lot of slaves settled in the beginning from Tennessee via the ex-industrial movement and Benjamin Pap. And like, I don't know if you mind walking a little bit.
Let's walk.
All right. Let's take a stroll. Yeah. So, do I get to plug stuff?
You can talk about whatever you want.
Do I get to plug stuff?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's, you know, it's more informative than it is anything else.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but like I said, I'm from here. I do a lot of stuff in Kansas City as well. But I want people to know where I'm coming from, and a project I have coming out with Greg Enemy, who I think has been featured on your show once already.
It will be in the future.
In the future, okay. Yeah. We got coming out. It's called the Babylon EP. It's really dope, and I want people to hear that. You know what I mean? And it's gonna be free download, that kind of thing. And it's gonna be fresh, man. But like I said, right now we're on 12th and I want to say Lane. Make sure. Yeah, I know my city. We're on 12th and Lane right now. This is what is Tennessee town. This is where I walk, man. This is where I went to walk to high school. The library's up the street. You know what I mean? I just want to let people get a grasp on, you know, there's no farm. We're not riding horses. It's concrete. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the idyllic idea that people have of Kansas on the whole. You know what I mean?
And there's nothing wrong with farms.
And there's nothing wrong with farms, but
we're just showing you
that there is another side.
No doubt.
To where we're at. Dang, they just got in the way. So they were probably watching us.
That's the other part is despite the fact that we're not on a farm, there isn't much street activity take place. So something such as a a crappy video camera can cause accidents around here. I don't even have big breasts and a low-cut top.
I know, right? We're out here and it's cold. Now that is one thing. I wish I lived on the West Coast because it's cold. I mean, it's cold right now. It's warm.
Do you have interest in moving at some point, or do you have allegiance?
Definitely, man. And this is just to give y'all, you know what I'm saying, some of the scenery. That
is this typical, or is this like a rare corner?
This isn't a rare corner. This isn't typical. Like I said, we go up the street some more. You're gonna see some more abandoned housing. But definitely, like I said earlier, we were just on the other side of the street. You know, and it looked a lot better than this does, you know, for the most part. But it's an interesting growing up in a town like Topeka, because it's so like conservative, you know. And I don't mean it like you know, Bill O'Reilly, or maybe I do, but like I saw the Klan when I was a kid.
In what sort of fashion?
They were here representing.
Like marching?
They were putting it down. Like when we first moved to Topeka, the Klan came to the state building, the Capitol, full garbed out and everything, and the town let them do it. You know.
Well, freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech, man. Got it. But it's almost like they forget that, you know, there's actually, you know, any people of color living in the town, you know. And
probably not in large enough numbers and/or
to care,
to protest or to put up a fight.
I think the last number I read was like 11%.
Okay.
Black, you know, 8% Spanish, and then, you know, down the line. So, well, this is where we're at.
No doubt. I must say I like the textures, despite the. I'm digging the colors and the textures.
Yeah, despite the dilapidation.
Yeah.
But yes, no, I mean, a lot of it looks like Kansas City. I think that's why when I was living in Kansas City, I didn't have such a hard time adjusting. You know, it really reminded me a lot of Kansas City.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. And we're just an hour up the road, but Kansas City acts like like Topeka is really some, you know, place to be made fun of. And like Kansas City is Kansas City at the end of the day. But I still love y'all.
I hear you.
My favorite people.
So where are we headed right now?
Right now we're heading to the library.
Nice.
And then to take a pan over there, they've been doing a lot of demolition. That used to be housing, like there used to be houses.
On that kind of block right there? All right. So they demolished that a minute ago because it's all overgrown.
And I would never think that gentrification would come to a small town, but it is. Like due to the college, it's important that the people who are coming from out of town feel safe, you know, going to school. So a lot of stuff gets leveled, you know. And I've talked to kids in Johnson County who are like, man, I was gonna go to Washburn, but then I saw where it was at, you know. So I said no. I went to KU. So it's definitely an interesting dynamic of what goes on here. But it's Stik Figa, man. We are in Elmhurst. Home sweet home for me, home of the hospital, if you could pan over there, St. Francis. And look at the architecture on the library, ain't that cold? It's pretty fresh. 11th and Garfield. Elementary, where my little brother went, you know what I'm saying? And this is what shapes Stik Figa Records right here. You know, you got housing, you got apartment complexes like Library Park. I'm not gonna get into all of that, but it ain't no place to be staying. So it's like a cool little dichotomy though, because it's like, and then over there is, like I said, we just walked you through Tennessee Town, which is, we're looking at it right there from the other side of the street, and then we're just walking over there. But and this is what makes my records, man. This is what keeps me in like a moderate place lyrically, you know what I'm saying, especially with my content. It's not like hardcore gangster rap. I can't be doing that. Like that's nothing about me or where I'm from that's like that, but it's definitely you know, that small town, I don't even know the word for it, but I'm just level, you know what I mean?
It's kind of
guy.
Kind of from the experience of a wide variety of people in one setting, exactly. But it's still pretty mildly relaxed because there's not a whole lot of activity.
Exactly.
It's not like you're in the middle of a
Yeah,
major
like
city.
I'm not from a major city. I'm not from a major metropolis, but I definitely pride myself on being humble. You know what I mean? And I pride myself on being ready to just talk to anybody. And that's kind of the type of town this is. You know what I mean? It's the little big town. You know, it's kind of big. It's kind of small. You know what I mean? Like, it's big enough for people to feel like going to the town surrounding it is a hassle, you know, but it's small enough to feel like you know everybody. And that's kind of how I approach my music. I'm like, if you listen to my music, then you're getting to know me and we know each other. So if I see you at a show, I can shake your hand and say, man, thanks for coming out. I appreciate it, you know, versus doing stadiums, which I'm not at yet, but maybe that'll happen. But I'm not doing stadiums and I'm not able to not speak to everybody one at a time. But if that happens, I want to keep doing that with my records. You know what I mean? And that's what this is, you know, all of this is exactly what keeps me in that place, you know, and just staying positive and keeping it regular, you know. It's a regular dude. But when I get that money, I'm clowning. If I get that money, I'm clowning. You'll never see me around here again. No, I'm playing. I don't mean it. But yeah, so I just wanted to take you like right where it's all at, you know, for me and where I'm from. So there's no exaggeration. This is my best friend's first job. And this is where we used to kick it at every day after school. He used to work across the street at a place called down the street, at a place called Tevis's. And Tevis's was on that bull. So he quit there and came to Tilton's. And Tilton's is like, we can't take you inside because they're closed right now. But man, it's definitely, I mean, look at it. It's got the storefront and everything like it's the 50s. Like the architecture, nothing changes in this town. Like I think it's very representative of Topeka because nothing changes. It says Tilton's West Side. Topeka's grown years and years. This is probably should be called Tilton's Central. But this was the West Side once upon a time. The architecture looked like it's straight out of, you know, 50s. Yeah. You know what I mean? And when you go inside of it, it's the same thing. It's shaped like, you know, and the aisles are still old. Everything is still very 1950 something. No doubt. And a homeless gentleman. And nothing changes in this town at all. It's on the east side. I'm not taking you to my house. You're not gonna know where I live. But this is East Topeka. And it is home to my favorite eatery. This is the greatest place to eat in America. It is the prize package. People come from all over town during their lunch breaks, during their work days, to eat at the prize package. I believe it's originally called Harold's Prize Package. The guy Harold passed and his daughter's been taking care of it ever since. This to me is very representative of my childhood and still to this day. Just my philosophy on music, you know what I mean, centers a lot in this, and that is not McDonald's. You know what I mean?
Break that down.
McDonald's is on every corner. McDonald's makes their food the same way every time. McDonald's is a corporation that doesn't care about the product as much as they care about the people. You know what I mean? They don't care about the people. Prize Package is the type of place, if you come in here often enough, she already knows what you want. No doubt. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I approach my music, in that I don't want to be McDonald's. I don't want to be making corporate music. I don't want to be making music that's already on your radio, that Comcast or Viacom is asking people to produce on a regular basis. I'm going to produce the music that's actually coming from me, you know what I mean, in my life, and give it to you every time that I do it, and know that it comes from the heart, just like a prize package. It's good business. It's the type of business nobody runs anymore, you know. Personal business.
So you about to say shaking hands?
Shaking hands, looking people in the eye, you know, and that's what I'm trying to do with my music, is look me in the eye, listen to these stories that are true. You know what I mean? Or even if there's stories that are made up, but they're coming from a real place where you can feel like you're having a connection with the person. So, prize package, greatest place to eat in America. Stik Figa, maybe the nicest rapping guy. Not nice like on the lyrical, but I'm just saying, like,
Nah,
the
man.
nicest, coolest guy that you'll meet who cares about being nice on the mic too. But more importantly, I just want you to feel like you connected with me and getting to know me in each record, you know. So that's what I'm about. Miles Bonny Show. It's Stik Figa, man.